Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With that, we're off to Pittsburgh for the home opener. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are at the confluence of the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela Rivers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the first pick of the second round back in 2001, and that's the veteran Drew Brees.
Drew Brees' accomplishments have been borderline astounding. When you look back at what people thought about him coming out of college, so-called height issue, you name it, he can do it. And boy, does he prepare well for each and every game.
They'll run with a former Super Bowl hero. It's James White. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there on a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That good for 19 and a first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Brees able to get this to Gordon. For Gordon, the receiving numbers in last week's game, well north of 100 yards receiving. He was hard to stop. The only thing they did well defensively, they didn't allow him to get in the end zone.
And that's small comfort for them because he actually carved them up. I love his versatility. I love his route running. Ran the entire route tree. They hit him on deep shots, quick hitters, balls over the middle, balls to the sideline. He was everywhere.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On second down, they'll run with White. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards there and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
On first down, Brees. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
And the play of this offensive line is going to tell a big story. And right now, if you're a fan of this team, you're loving the story that they're telling. They've already created some holes in the running game on this opening drive, and they're going to need to keep it up for these guys to have a big chance at victory.
And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. And a look at Seattle's defense.
At corner is Josh Norman. I would think he would want to quibble a little bit. Actually, you know Josh would have a full discussion with the metrics people who say that maybe he's not the elite lockdown corner he thinks he is. He would say, ask all the receivers in the NFC East. They would think differently because a day against Josh Norman is a very difficult day for any receiver.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Max Williams, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. And racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
He's always been an incredible decision-maker on the field. Takes care of the ball really well, puts his team in the right positions, makes sure the play calls are accurate. Also was a minor league baseball player. Didn't hit very well there. I think he made a great career choice picking football.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
2-time All-Pro center Jason Kelce is one of the most athletic centers in the league. In fact, he went to the University of Cincinnati as a walk-on linebacker before converting to the offensive line. Can pull, trap, get out in front of runners in any situation, and one of the more intelligent centers in the league as well, handling all of their line calls.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
I don't know what the actual percentages are. I don't know the analytics on when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches have always told me, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%.
And he'll get that to Michel, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
North of 100 yards, the 2 scores, and, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
On second down, Michel. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Here's Wilson to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. 4th down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle. Back deep, Danny Amendola. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And the Steelers set to take the field. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
They run with a former Viking and Raider. It's Latavius Murray. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Breeze now to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley. That'll bring up 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll run with White. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Breeze. Open man is Gordon, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Meanwhile, checking in on what's going on in Baltimore. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Now a pass dropped off here for James White. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Now they try to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Here's Amendola now, jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Ready? 5-8, 5-8. Come to my world. We won't tonight.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. It's Christian Covington who notches the sack there. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the 1st quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here, because it's a different team they're facing. But they watch the film as well, so they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field, and they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Check 50, check 50.
This is Michel on the counter. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, baby.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got Fitzgerald. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. First grab for Fitzgerald. He's got a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while, because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From the 41, Wilson. His throw incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's got his man, Boyd. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run the counter. Michel fights through, and now a crease. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now Wilson. He completes it to Boyd. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Michel, and he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. On 2nd and 2, Wilson, a quick throw but incomplete. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now Wilson. Completes it to Fitzgerald. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Boyd, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we've got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Breeze, and they get him down. 16 yards, a first down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
First down, here's White. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Yellow lady.
On 2nd down now, it's White. The tackle made by K.J. Wright. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. To throw, it's Breeze. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Here's Wilson firing quickly, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Michel, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
He may be playing free safety while wrapped up in a corner's body, but Earl Thomas is the best center fielder in the game. He cleans up everything back there as far as I'm concerned. I think he just has intelligence, understands things, and boy, is he tough.
Play action. It's Wilson. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
On first down, Michel, and he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Ready? Yellow lady.
They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Breeze now. This one caught by Ridley. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Calvin Ridley, 82 yards. And the Steelers have taken the lead. And Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they designed every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. An NFL update there in the 2nd quarter in Baltimore. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of the 1st after a gain of about 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, Michel, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Montez Sweat brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. A give to Michelle running right. An 8-yard gain, so that gets him halfway there. Now they're left with a 3rd and 8 more. They go play action now. Wilson. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Jonathan Hankins drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that will go out of the back of the end zone. Way too much mustard. Not a good punt, and it will come out to the 20. And our attention here turns to Latavius Murray. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Breeze will try again on 2nd down. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
Calvin Ridley more than justified his first-round selection in 2018. 64 catches as a rookie and found the end zone 10 times. Did a nice job getting open right there and picking up a 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Running out of the gun with White. Luke Kuechly, the all-pro linebacker, in on the stop. They run the draw play. This is White. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in the second week of the regular season. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Breeze. And it's caught here, Amendola. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target.
Yellow lady, I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
On 1st down, Breeze. It's complete. James White. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. Goes underneath here to White. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on third. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half. Unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try.
A 28-yard attempt.
And the kick by Butker is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So they've put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. Now, the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far.
Defense.
So that flag will cost them 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Wilson now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. Wilson. He gets this one to Boyd. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Wilson to throw. And he'll get that to Michel, complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And that's the risk of a long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen in the end of halves.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. The sack by Robert Quinn.
Good job.
And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On second down now, it's White, and he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In our game, it was the right arm of Drew Brees that led the way in the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On second and inches, Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Byron Jones. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Brees to throw. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And he is going to lose yardage here. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And he's got Kyle Rudolph. Now, loose football. The ball comes out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel, and he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. A nice 1st down pickup on a gain of 6.
So right after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway and a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it, running the football and picking it up on 3rd down.
Yeah, would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoid that right there.
Yeah, they avoided the glares as they went back to the bench, didn't they?
Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
Keeping it on the ground on 1st, Michel. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, Wilson. That's complete to Meredith. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 37.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. They'll turn to Michel as they go back to the ground. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing is Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Shotgun now for Brees. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. On the draw, it's White. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. Brees to throw on 3rd and 1. Open man is Gordon, complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
Ready? Check. Strip the ball.
On first down, Murray. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now Brees on the bootleg. It's caught. This is White. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call. And Amendola with a catch. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 28.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Brees going to come up here, 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Working from the gun, it's Brees. And a loose football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 61 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll run with Michelle. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Again, it's Michel. And maybe shades of the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. They go read option with Wilson. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. On the ground is Michel. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Sony Michel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They keep it on the ground. White again. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 11 yards there, 1st down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Breeze now on first down. And his throw is incomplete. Amendola had it and lost it. And that'll bring up second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They defer to White out of the shotgun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3. Breeze going to try and throw on 3rd down. Got Gordon open, completes it. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 36. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Gets it to Gordon. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Breeze. That's complete. It's Gordon. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's White. He gets it a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. And the Steelers on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Here's Breeze. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Kyle Rudolph. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Now Wilson. Airing one out for Boyd. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. It's a big play there for Seattle. 41 yards.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. To throw is Wilson. Throwing again. And he whips that one incomplete there. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 14. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Green 80. 59. What we got? What we got? What we got?
Off the draw, here's Michel. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
They come up in an offset eye. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Throwing again here, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Larry Fitzgerald, his first touchdown of the new season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter, out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Extra point splits the uprights, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. 5 plays there on that drive, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. I don't want to say that they're completely against the wall here, Charles, but all of a sudden, with the run that they've been on the other sideline, this is down to a 3-point game. They got to be careful.
Not much space from their back to the wall, though. So you're exactly right. They've got to be careful here. But this is where the value of note-taking and recall comes into play. What was working earlier? Why was it working? Can you get those types of matchups again? And can you run those plays that get you a little bit more breathing room and a little bit of space?
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Breeze now. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So Wilson and the Seahawks down 24-21, 2:13 remaining. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and a 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Wilson now to throw again. This short throw caught by Goddard. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, Michelle. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He's got his man, Boyd. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Back to throw.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. He's back to throw. And two big plays, one after the other. Now all of a sudden, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Now Michelle. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Wilson trying to urge his guys to go faster and get set at the line. He'll look to throw. Now in desperation, he's got a man complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Boyd, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little too late now.
I would agree with that, and we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely to take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. So they come out throwing in the extra session and get a nice hook up right away.
Tells you a lot about what a coach feels about his team, doesn't it? That type of a play in overtime, so many people in this situation play not to lose instead of playing to win. That throw there tells you exactly what they're trying to get done.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now a play fake. Breeze. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Breeze to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Now Breeze on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. Well done by the defense. They did their job here in overtime.
Boy, did they ever, because now it's 4th and really long. So if you do decide to go for it, people think you might be a little bit on the nut side, don't they? But guess what? If I did decide to go for it, I'd call something deep. I'd throw a deep pass and hope that the defense didn't remember to just knock it down. If they intercept it, it's almost like a great punt and helps out your defense with field position.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that had far too much air under it. It's out of the back of the end zone, and the football will come out to the 20-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They go play action now. Wilson. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer. I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Switch up.
On the ground, this is Michelle. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Play action. It's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
A couple of 1st downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now it's Wilson. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Montez Sweat in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
Now here's Michael Dixon on for a very important punt here in overtime. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
They'll start the drive with a give to White. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This being their second opportunity in overtime, third overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. To throw, it's Breeze. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. To see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Steelers, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.